very close friends. I have, many of my closest friends who struggled forever with drugs. And I know for myself that when I stopped doing drugs, I wanted to feel everything. I wanted to feel, and I like all my life I've suffered from really bad anxiety attacks and panic attacks and periods of like immense insecurity and have a really hard time just loving myself for just being me. Um, but it's a work in progress. But when I stopped doing drugs, I wanted to feel everything. I wanted to feel all the pain, all the suffering, all the anxiety, because I knew that the only way that I was going to grow was to feel it. And I know that we all yearn to be as deep as we can be as kind and compassionate and as good as we can be. And the only way to be that is to feel your pain and to sit there and let it wash over you. Like now, I'm not a religious man. I'm not. And when I'm hurting, but I believe in God and I pray. And when I'm hurting and I feel terrible, I get on my knees and I say, dear God, give me some more. Thank you. I know nothing. Thank you. Help me. And I know that within my suffering, I will grow, And for me, that was a huge thing to realize early on that I was going to deal with. And, you stop doing drugs, it's hard. Your nervous system's fucked up. Your whole social life revolves around going out and getting high and doing drugs. Your body associations, all your serotonins and dopamines and shit are wired to be high. It's hard. It's fucking hard to stop. It's hard to stop. It's hard to feel everything. But my only advice is to age gracefully is such a great aspiration to have. And luckily, I kind of around that age, I wanted to age gracefully. I wanted to be able to be an elderly person with a light on. I wanted to keep growing. I loved Duke Ellington. I wanted to try to keep reinventing, to keep be a humble student all my life. So I don't know. I guess my advice is to try to love yourself and to.
Listen, I have the most amazing last night of my life drinking story. It was Drake's 30th birthday party, and I made quite a fool of myself.
Really?
Oh, and it took me weeks to stop doing this every morning. I woke up. And then I had a conversation with myself. And I remember where I was. It was like 6 days into the hangover. I was in my 6th day of the hangover. That's how big the hangover was. I looked out the window and I went, okay, John, what percentage of your potential would you like to have? And there's no wrong answer. What is it? And I went, 100.
I want it all.
I said 100.
I want it all.
And then the voice in my head said, okay, do you know what that means? And I went, we don't have to talk anymore. I get it.
Let's go.
And that next year, I did 4 tours. I was in 2 bands.
Yep.
I was happy on airplanes. So what happens when you stop drinking? The level goes, it feels like boredom at first. But if you stick with it, the line straightens out and it goes kind of low, right? You're like, oh, I'm not having these high highs. But if you work, you can bring the whole line up. Listen, I have them.
If you knew who was really in power, would you say it?
I just can't get over it. I want to know who let you on stage.
Watch this man.
This is a life hack of mine that helped me when I was in my 20s. 24, 25, I'm finally hanging out with other rich people. Bartender comes over. What would you like to drink, sir? A 21 for Black Label, double, 3 pieces of ice. Did I know whiskey? No. I had sipped this whiskey 1 or 2 times, but if you know one sentence, you sound like a whiskey expert. Yes. This is a life hack of mine.
There once was a truck with an ugly frame. Its angles sharp and it looks so lame. The people wondered who's to blame. The man who goes to Mars. All hail the Cybertruck, a brick on wheels that frankly sucks. They call it sleek, but let's be real, it's the dumbest thing on wheels. There.
14, 15 years ago, I'd watch an internet debate. And I said,
drugs ultimately are pretty selfish. It's all about you and your pain and your world that you want to cut everything else out. And I never thought, in doing my drugs, I never thought I was trying to get rid of pain. I always thought I was
Andrew, there's a great debate, Andrew, you have to come watch it. He looked at me and went, we're broke, Tristan.
It has such a cheap guitar that
Now, let's stop and think. Here's your mind. You're not worried that it comes back your way? Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up?
I don't got that shit in my bag. I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better or to remember one. I didn't fucking give her a drink so she forget what the fuck happened. What the fuck is going on here? I gave me a fucking performance so she can remember and possibly love me forever.
You know,
Women's,
let's keep it, let's make it so it doesn't get too gross.
no, I know. Women's clitorises are penises that aren't fully formed. So when you're in utero or whatever, your
It's some
body
we're
makes.
trying to form, dude. One,
Hey, Daddy. Great explorer. You know what I mean? I was like, I went up on the squares. I was like, I saw the world as.
Stop doing this. You don't need to delete your photos manually. Open this.
I came across a social media post today, caught my eye, and I knew I had to share it with you. I'm gonna go ahead and read the post to you. It says this: God pulled you out of the pit so you can go back and get more people out. Never forget that. Like this thought on this. Wow, that is potentially very dangerous. It seems like that typical Christianese idea that we are all together in this world with one devil, one adversary, and we got to rush in there and rescue everybody. How dangerous of an idea and a principle is that, especially now that you have come out of a toxic relationship with covert, narcissistically abused.
Limerence is a term coined by Dorothy Tinoff in her 1979 book, Love and Limerence. Limerence is a very underexplored topic and state that people can get into when they start to have obsessive thoughts about a person, which can be romantic or non-romantic. We'll talk about in this video what limerence is, how you might spot whether or not you're in a limerence state, and a couple of strategies as to how you might cope with being in a limerence state. Hi, my name is Maris. I'm an honorary assistant psychologist at the...
When we're attached, what we do is we create resistance. And this resistance is dependent on how someone else is responding or not responding to our own energy. Now, one of the most attractive things you can do is to actually bring your energy back. Instead of projecting them and sending it to them, bring it back to you. So in this video, I'm going to do something different that I haven't done before. I'm actually going to go through some articles that I have found on how to make them miss you. And I'm going to show you how to do this in a way that is energetically actually healthy, and how not letting go is actually very easy when we allow it to be easy. Letting go is only hard because we believe that it has to be hard. But the main reason letting go is hard is because we believe that if we were to let go of what we want, whether that is